Welcome back to Contact Pod. You know, AI is like my jam, so I always get super excited for these deep dives, especially when we're talking about it.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
And today we're focusing on the future of digital assistants and how ChatGPT is kind of shaking things up with its brand new feature tasks.
Yeah.
You sent in some articles from the Verge Your Story and HT News Desk, and
Yeah, great articles.
yeah, let me tell you, this is going to be a fascinating conversation.
I think so too.
These articles paint a picture of ChatGPT becoming like a full-fledged personal assistant,
Uh-huh.
like scheduling our days, setting reminders, and basically taking over some of those mental to-do lists we all carry around.
Totally.
But it's not just about convenience.
Right.
We're also going to discuss like the potential economic impact, the competition this sparks
Yeah.
with the big players like Alexa and Siri, and even touch on the ethical considerations.
Yeah, it's going to be a big one for sure.
So buckle up, everybody, because we're about to unpack a lot. One thing that really struck me while reading these articles was this idea of ChatGPT becoming more than just a chatbot.
Oh, yeah.
It seems like OpenAI is really pushing towards this idea of like agentic AI.
Uh-huh.
What exactly does that even mean, and why is this shift such a big deal?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And it gets to the heart of what's so intriguing about this development.
Okay.
Agentic AI refers to artificial intelligence that can act independently, carrying out tasks and making decisions on behalf of a user.
So it's not just responding to prompts.
It's not just about that, no.
Okay.
It's about anticipating needs, planning ahead, and executing actions in the real world.
Wow.
This shift is significant because it moves AI beyond, passive tools and into the realm of active collaborators.
That's a fascinating distinction.
It really is.
So it's not just about asking ChatGPT to set a reminder anymore.
Right.
It's about the AI understanding your goals and proactively helping you achieve them.
Exactly.
That seems like a huge leap in capability.
It is.
But the Verge article, written by Kylie Robeson, also mentioned that this push toward agentic AI isn't just about technological advancement. It's also about economics.
Yeah.
How so?
Right, and this is where things get really interesting.
Right.
Developing and maintaining advanced AI like ChatGPT is incredibly expensive.
Yeah,
OpenAI has invested a lot of resources into this technology.
for sure.
So they're exploring ways to make it financially sustainable
Right.
by introducing agent-like features that provide tangible value, like scheduling reminders and more complex task management.
Yeah.
OpenAI is creating a way to justify charging for access.
Okay.
It's a classic supply and demand situation.
I see.
They're betting that people will be willing to pay for an AI that can effectively manage their lives and boost their productivity.
So it's like having a personal assistant,
Yeah,
but in the digital realm.
exactly.
It makes sense that people would be willing to pay for that kind of service, especially if it's truly effective.
Yeah.
But what about the free version of ChatGPT? Will it disappear completely?
It's unlikely that OpenAI will completely abandon the free tier.
Okay.
After all, it's a fantastic way to attract new users and gather valuable data.
Yeah.
However, we can expect to see a clear distinction between the free and paid versions. The free version might have limited capabilities and possibly include ads or usage restrictions,
Okay.
while the paid version will unlock the full potential of agentic AI features.
Okay.
It's a model we've seen before with other software and online services,
Right.
and it seems likely that AI will follow a similar path.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
It's like the freemium model we see with so many apps these days.
for sure.
But this brings up another point that the Verge article hinted at. OpenAI is working on even more advanced features like Operator and Caterpillar.
Yeah,
Can you tell us more about these and what they could potentially do?
absolutely. Operator is particularly ambitious.
Okay.
It's being designed to allow ChatGPT to control computers autonomously. Imagine being able to tell your AI assistant to draft an email to my boss,
Okay.
and it actually opens your email client, composes the email based on your instructions, and even sends it for you.
Wow.
That's the level of control they're aiming for with Operator.
Wow.
It's a bold vision,
Yeah.
but one that could revolutionize how we interact with technology.
Wow. That does sound revolutionary,
It does.
but also a little bit scary, to be honest.
Yeah.
What about Caterpillar?
Oh, yeah.
The article mentioned it being able to search for information, analyze data, and even navigate websites independently.
Caterpillar is all about information gathering and analysis.
Okay.
The idea is to give ChatGPT the ability to access and process information from the real world.
So like searching the web, reading documents, analyzing data sets.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Essentially acting as a research assistant on steroids.
Wow.
It could have huge implications for fields like journalism research and even education.
I can see that.
Imagine students having access to an AI that can instantly gather and synthesize information on any topic.
It could completely transform how we learn.
That's incredible,
It is.
but also a little daunting.
Yeah.
It seems like we're entering uncharted territory here.
We are.
And with all this talk about ChatGPT controlling computers and accessing information, how can we be sure that it's safe and reliable?
Right.
I mean, the article did mention a demo where an AI agent produced inaccurate information.
You're right to raise that concern.
Yeah.
Reliability and safety are paramount, especially when we're talking about AI that can act autonomously.
Right.
The example you mentioned from the Verge article highlights the fact that these systems are still under development. And there's a lot of work to be done to ensure their accuracy and trustworthiness.
I can definitely see that.
Yeah.
Giving AI the ability to control our computers or access sensitive information requires a lot of trust.
A lot of trust.
So how are they addressing these concerns?
Right.
What steps are being taken to make sure these systems are safe and reliable?
Well, one key area is transparency.
OpenAI is increasingly emphasizing the importance of explaining how its AI models work, how they're trained, and what data they use.
Okay.
This transparency is crucial for building trust and allowing for independent scrutiny.
So people can look under the hood.
Exactly.
Yes.
They're also working on developing robust safety protocols and mechanisms to prevent unintended consequences.
Okay.
This includes things like limiting the scope of an AI's actions, building in fail-safes, and constantly monitoring for potential issues.
So it's a combination of technical safeguards and a commitment to transparency.
It is.
It sounds like they're taking these concerns seriously, which is reassuring.
They are.
But even with these safeguards in place, there's still a lot of uncertainty surrounding the future of AI.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the biggest questions is, how will this impact the existing landscape of digital assistants?
Right.
I mean, we already have Alexa, Siri, Google Assistant.
Uh-huh.
Where does ChatGPT fit into all of this?
That's a great question, and
Yeah.
it's one that has the entire tech industry buzzing. The introduction of tasks and these more advanced features puts ChatGPT in direct competition with the established players.
Okay.
And this competition is going to be fierce,
Oh, yeah.
but ultimately it's likely to benefit consumers.
How so?
Think of it this way.
Okay.
ChatGPT's entry into the market forces companies like Amazon, Apple, and Google to up their game.
Uh-huh.
They can't afford to sit back and watch as OpenAI takes the lead.
Right.
So we can expect to see a rapid acceleration of innovation in the digital assistant space.
So it's like an AI assistant arms race, but one where we, the users, are the ultimate winners.
Precisely.
That's a pretty exciting prospect.
It is.
That's a great point.
Thanks.
It seems like with each advancement, these digital assistants are becoming less like tools and more like partners.
Yeah.
And the Your Story article does a really good job of breaking down the specific features of tasks.
Uh-huh.
They mention things like scheduling reminders,
Yeah.
natural language prompting, and even personalized suggestions.
Yeah.
What stands out to you in terms of usability and potential benefits for everyday users?
One of the biggest benefits is the sheer convenience.
Okay.
Imagine being able to manage your entire schedule set. Reminders create to-do lists and even get personalized suggestions, all using natural language.
Wow.
It's like having a personal assistant who understands you perfectly and is available 24/7.
That sounds incredibly helpful, especially for someone like me who's always juggling a million things at once.
I can imagine.
But the article also mentions personalized suggestions.
Uh-huh.
How exactly does that work?
Yeah.
And how could it benefit users?
This is where the real power of AI comes into play.
Okay.
Personalized suggestions go beyond simply reacting to your commands.
Okay.
They involve the AI learning your habits, understanding your preferences, and proactively offering solutions or reminding you of things you might have forgotten.
So it's like having an AI that not only knows your schedule, but also anticipates your needs.
Exactly.
That's pretty amazing.
It is.
But with all this talk about convenience and efficiency, we also have to consider the potential downsides.
Right.
What are some of the ethical concerns surrounding the increasing reliance on AI assistants?
That's a crucial question and one that deserves a lot of thought.
For sure.
One concern is the potential for data privacy breaches.
Okay.
As AI assistants become more integrated into our lives, they gather an increasing amount of personal data.
Yeah.
It's essential to ensure that this data is handled responsibly and that users have control over how it's used.
That's a valid point.
It is.
Data privacy is a big concern in this digital age.
Huge.
Are there any other ethical considerations we should be thinking about?
Another concern is the potential for bias.
Okay.
AI systems are trained on vast amounts of data.
Right.
And if that data reflects existing societal biases, the AI can perpetuate those biases in its decisions and recommendations.
That's definitely something to be aware of.
It is.
It seems like with any powerful technology, there are always potential risks as well as benefits.
Always two sides of the coin.
So what can be done to mitigate these risks and ensure that AI is developed and used ethically?
Transparency is key.
Okay.
Developers need to be open about how their AI systems work, what data they use, and how they address potential biases.
Okay.
Regulation also plays a crucial role. Governments and regulatory bodies need to establish clear guidelines and standards for the development and deployment of AI systems to protect user privacy and ensure ethical use.
So it's a multifaceted approach involving both technical solutions and societal awareness.
It is.
That seems like we're just at the beginning of this conversation of ethical AI,
Oh, yeah. Just getting started.
and there's a lot more to discuss.
A lot more. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's a fascinating and complex landscape.
And while we're talking about potential impacts, there's another big one that
Yeah.
we can't ignore: the impact on the workforce.
Absolutely. Huge topic.
Yeah, that's something the HT News Desk article brought up as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talk about AI potentially replacing jobs. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah.
Is this something we should be worried about?
It's a valid concern.
Okay.
And it's one that we need to approach with nuance. It's true that AI has the potential to automate certain tasks that are currently done by humans.
Uh-huh.
And in some cases, this could lead to job displacement.
Yeah, I can see how certain roles, especially those involving repetitive tasks,
Right.
could be vulnerable to automation.
Yes. But it's important to remember that AI can also create new jobs and opportunities.
Okay.
Think about all the jobs that exist today that didn't exist a decade or two ago,
Yeah.
like data scientists, AI engineers, social media managers.
Uh-huh.
As AI technology evolves, it's likely to create entirely new industries and job sectors that we can't even imagine yet.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
It's not just about jobs being lost, it's also about new jobs being created.
right,
But how do we ensure that workers are prepared for this shift?
right.
What can be done to help people adapt to these changes in the job market?
Education and retraining are going to be crucial.
Yeah.
We need to equip people with the skills they need to thrive in an AI-driven world.
Mm.
This means focusing on areas like critical thinking, problem-solving creativity, and emotional intelligence,
Okay.
skills that are less likely to be automated.
So rather than fearing AI as a job stealer,
Right.
we should view it as an opportunity to upskill and focus on those uniquely human abilities. It's about adapting to the changing landscape and embracing lifelong learning.
Exactly. And it's not just about individual workers.
Okay.
Companies and governments also have a role to play. They need to invest in training programs and create policies that support workers during this transition.
It sounds like a collaborative effort is needed to navigate this shift successfully.
It really does.
So let's go back to ChatGPT and its new capabilities for a moment. The Your Story article highlighted a feature called natural language prompting.
Yeah.
Can you explain what that is and why it's so significant?
Of course, natural language prompting allows you to interact with ChatGPT using everyday language just like you would talk to a human assistant.
Okay.
You don't need to use specific commands or syntax. You can simply say, "Remind me to call my mom tomorrow at noon." Okay.
And ChatGPT will understand and create the reminder.
That sounds incredibly user-friendly.
It is.
It seems like they've really focused on making these AI assistants accessible to everyone regardless of their technical expertise.
Exactly. The goal is to make AI as intuitive and natural to use as possible.
Uh-huh.
The easier it is to interact with these systems, the more widely they'll be adopted.
That makes a lot of sense. The more accessible these tools become, the more people can benefit from them. But with all this power at our fingertips, it's important to remember that AI is still a tool.
It is a tool, that's right.
And like any tool, it can be used for good or for ill.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. That brings us back to the crucial importance of ethical considerations.
Yeah.
We need to be mindful of the potential risks of AI and ensure that it's developed and used responsibly.
So what are some specific steps that developers and policymakers can take to ensure responsible AI development? I mean, it's one thing to talk about ethics, but how do we actually put those principles into practice? One important step is to prioritize transparency and explainability.
Okay.
AI systems should be designed in a way that allows us to understand how they make decisions. This is crucial for building trust and accountability.
So it's not enough for an AI to give us the right answer.
Yeah.
We also need to understand how it arrived at that answer. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
What else can be done to ensure that AI is used ethically?
Another crucial aspect is diversity and inclusion.
Okay.
AI systems are trained on data, and if that data is biased or unrepresentative, the AI can perpetuate those biases.
Right.
We need to ensure that the data used to train AI systems reflects the diversity of the real world,
Ah,
and that the teams developing AI are themselves diverse and inclusive.
that's a really important point.
It is.
Diversity of thought and experience is essential for creating AI that benefits everyone, not just a select few.
I agree.
But even with all these precautions, there's always a chance that things could go wrong.
Yeah.
What happens if an AI system makes a mistake or behaves in a way that harms someone who's responsible?
That's a complex question, and there's no easy answer.
Yeah.
It raises important legal and ethical questions about liability and accountability.
Uh-huh.
We need to develop clear frameworks and regulations that address these issues as AI becomes more sophisticated and autonomous.
So it's not just about building the technology. It's also about creating the rules and structures to govern its use. It's about finding a balance between fostering innovation and protecting people from potential harm.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that AI is not just a technological challenge, it's also a societal one.
Yeah.
We need to have these conversations and make these decisions collectively as a society.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot to consider, but even with these challenges, it's hard not to be excited about the potential of AI to improve our lives. I mean, we've talked about how ChatGPT could revolutionize the way we work, learn, and even manage our daily schedules. What are you most optimistic about when it comes to the future of AI assistance?
You know what excites me the most is the potential for AI to empower individuals and level the playing field. Imagine a world where everyone has access to a personalized AI assistant that can help them learn new skills, manage their finances, navigate complex healthcare systems, and even start their own businesses. AI has the power to democratize access to information and resources in a way that's never been possible before.
That's a really inspiring vision. It's not just about making life easier for those who are already well off. It's about using technology to create a more equitable and inclusive society.
Mhm.
But to get there, we need to be thoughtful about how we develop and deploy these technologies. We need to make sure that AI is used for good and that its benefits are shared by all.
I completely agree. We can't simply assume that technological progress will automatically lead to societal progress. We need to actively shape the development of AI in a way that aligns with our values and
So
aspirations.
it's not just about the technology itself. It's about the choices we make as a society. It's about using AI as a tool to create the kind of future we want to see.
Exactly. And that's why conversations like this are so important. We need to engage in open and honest dialogue about the potential benefits and risks of AI and work together to ensure that it's used for the betterment of humanity.
Well said. We've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive, from the specifics of ChatGPT's new tasks feature to the broader implications of AI for our society. It's clear that this is a topic that's going to continue to evolve and generate a lot of discussion in the years to come.
It certainly will, and I'm excited to see how it all unfolds. The future of AI is full of possibilities, and it's up to all of us to shape it in a way that benefits everyone.
A huge thank you to you for joining us today and sharing your insights on this fascinating and rapidly evolving field. Your expertise has been invaluable in helping us understand the complexities of AI and its potential impact on our lives.
It's always a pleasure to join you on Contact Pod. These conversations are crucial for raising awareness and promoting thoughtful dialogue about the future of technology.
And to all our listeners, thank you for tuning into this deep dive into the world of AI assistance. We hope you found it informative and thought-provoking. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to Contact Pod for more insightful explorations of the tech world. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep asking those big questions.